What drives a person to the edge of sanity? How does a promising philosophy student turn into a fatal perpetrator? Welcome to the chilling story of Alice Wood. Alice Wood, a philosophy student at Manchester University, resided in the quiet town of Roadheath, Cheshire. This young woman, brimming with potential, was a beacon of hope in her community. Her dreams soared high as the spires of Cambridge, where she aspired to pursue a research master's. A vision of a bright future was clear in her eyes, but beneath this veneer of normalcy lay the seeds of a tragedy that would soon unfold. Alice's life, much like the town she lived in, was seemingly ordinary. She was navigating the complexities of love and life with her fiancé, Ryan Watson. Ryan, a worker at a brain injury charity, was the center of Alice's world. They were a couple well-loved and well-respected in their community. However, the ordinary is often a facade for the extraordinary, and Alice's life was no exception. Beneath the surface of her everyday existence, a storm was brewing. A storm that was about to break the tranquility of her life and the lives of those around her. Life, as we know it, is a series of moments. Some moments pass unnoticed while others leave an indelible mark. For Alice, one such moment was just around the corner, a moment that would transform her from a promising student into a perpetrator of a fatal act. An act so unimaginable it would shock the community and send ripples through the criminal justice system. What unfolds is a tale of love, jealousy, and the darkest corners of the human psyche. A tale that questions the boundaries of sanity and the thin line that separates passion from violence. A tale that brings to light the devastating consequences of unchecked emotions and a single, irreversible choice. Just like the calm before a storm, Alice's life was about to take an unexpected and deadly turn. A typical birthday party set the stage for a deadly showdown, but what led to the fatal confrontation? Let's journey back to that fateful night. Picture this, a birthday party, not just any party, but one held at a brain injury charity. A place where joy and hope often mingle with stories of survival and resilience. This was where Ryan Watson, Alice's fiancé and a dedicated employee of the charity, was celebrating a service user's birthday. The party was brimming with laughter and cheer, a stark contrast to the storm that was brewing beneath the surface. Ryan, a seemingly devoted partner to Alice, found himself in a situation that would later prove to be the catalyst of a tragic event. His interactions with another woman at the party were innocent enough, but to Alice they were anything but. Alice Wood, the promising philosophy student, was not just a keen observer of human nature, but a participant in its complexities. That night, through the lens of jealousy, she saw a different story unfold, a story of betrayal. Each laughter, each shared glance between Ryan and the other woman was like a dagger to her heart. As the night wore on, the atmosphere grew thick with unspoken words and simmering emotions. Alice's jealousy, once a low flame, had turned into a raging fire. The more she watched Ryan, the more the seeds of suspicion took root. With each passing moment, her distrust grew, and so did the tension between her and Ryan. And then, the confrontation. A heated exchange of words, accusations hurled, a relationship strained to its breaking point. The party, once filled with mirth and joy, had turned into a battlefield of love and betrayal. As the night unfolded, a seemingly harmless jealousy turned into a dangerous spark, ready to ignite. Little did anyone know that this spark would lead to a deadly showdown, one that would forever change the trajectory of Alice Wood's life. In a tragic twist of fate, a game of chicken turned deadly. The evening had spiraled into an explosive argument between Alice and Ryan. The spark? A perceived betrayal? A flirtatious interaction between Ryan and another woman at the party. This ignited a flame of jealousy in Alice, a flame that was fanned by the alcohol coursing through her veins, pushing her 3 times over the legal limit. The argument was not just a war of words, it was a destructive clash of emotions, a battle where love and resentment danced a dangerous tango. The atmosphere was thick with tension, each heated exchange pushing them further into a destructive spiral. It was a vortex they couldn't escape, a whirlwind they had unknowingly summoned. And then, in a chilling moment of uncontrolled rage, Alice made a decision that would forever alter the course of their lives. She transformed her car into a lethal weapon, an instrument of destruction, a missile aimed at the heart of her relationship. This was no ordinary argument. This was a deadly game of chicken. The haunting moments leading up to the fatal decision were captured on CCTV. The footage, A chilling testament to the destructive power of unchecked emotions shows Alice getting into the car, her face a mask of rage and desperation. The engine roars to life, the headlights pierce the darkness, and Alice accelerates towards her unsuspecting fiancé. But this was not a game she could win. It was a game that would end in tragedy, a game that would claim Ryan's life and imprison Alice in a cage of guilt and remorse. The car skids, the tires screech, and in a horrifying moment of impact, Ryan's life is extinguished. The CCTV footage ends, but the echoes of that fateful moment reverberate in the silence that follows. The game of chicken had turned deadly, a moment of rage, a deadly decision, and lives were changed forever. The courtroom became a battleground of narratives, a place where Alice's future hung in the balance. The court case that followed was a riveting drama in itself, a battle of perspectives, where Alice's fate was to be decided. The prosecution painted a picture of a woman driven by jealousy and rage, a woman who had used her car as a weapon in a deadly game. They argued that, fueled by alcohol and a perceived betrayal, Alice had consciously decided to turn her vehicle into a lethal weapon, resulting in the tragic death of Ryan Watson. On the other side, the defense presented Alice as a dedicated student, a young woman caught in a moment of intense emotional turmoil. They argued that the act was not premeditated, but a spontaneous reaction to a heated argument, a tragic outcome of a night marred by alcohol and jealousy. The jury was left to dissect these conflicting narratives. They were tasked with the immense responsibility of deciding whether Alice's act was a calculated act of murder or a reckless manslaughter. The tension was palpable as the jurors deliberated, their decision set to forever alter the course of Alice's life. After days of intense deliberation, the jury returned with their verdict. Alice was found guilty of manslaughter. The courtroom fell silent, the weight of the verdict sinking in. Alice, once a promising philosophy student at Manchester University with aspirations of earning a research master's at Cambridge, was now a convicted felon. Her dreams, her ambitions, all reduced to a mere whisper in the face of the verdict. The impact was immediate and profound. Alice's life was irrevocably changed. The promising future she had envisioned was replaced with the stark reality of her actions. The verdict served as a grim reminder of the thin line between passion and violence and the devastating consequences of crossing it. In the eyes of the law, a verdict had been reached, but the story was far from over. In the aftermath of the tragic event, we are left to ponder the profound impact of unchecked emotions. The ripple effects of that fateful night in Roadheath, Cheshire, have left deep emotional scars on both families and the community. The once vibrant philosophy student Alice Wood is now a name etched in the annals of true crime, her promising future eclipsed by a moment of blind rage. The Watsons, torn by the loss of their son Ryan, grapple with grief and the bitter taste of betrayal. The Woods, faced with the life-altering consequences of Alice's actions, try to reconcile the Alice they knew with the Alice portrayed in the courtroom. Legal experts and psychologists alike have weighed in on the case, highlighting the complexities of the human psyche. In cases like Alice's, passion and anger can blur the lines of rationality, leading to catastrophic decisions, comments Dr. Harper, a renowned forensic psychologist. Those who knew Alice and Ryan intimately have struggled with their own reflections. Friends describe Alice as a dedicated student, ambitious, full of dreams and aspirations. They recall Ryan as a compassionate man, working tirelessly for a brain injury charity. The contrast between their public faces and the events of that night is a stark reminder of the hidden depths of the human psyche. The community of Roadheath has also been deeply affected, the tranquility of their quaint town shattered by the tragedy. Reflecting on the events, a local resident muses, "It's hard to believe something like this could happen here. It's a wake-up call, really." As we delve further into the blurred boundaries between love and obsession, we are reminded of the profound impact of unchecked emotions. The volatile cocktail of jealousy, alcohol, and perceived betrayal that fueled Alice's rage that night serves as a stark warning to us all. The Alice Wood case serves as a haunting reminder of the devastating consequences of a single, irreversible choice.